Hi friends, it's Julie Golding Page, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Canada, along the tidal Scoodic or St. Croix River, the traditional territory of the Passamaquoddy, and I'm grateful that they share this beautiful place with us. Today I have a card for you that I'm calling Cozy Cocoa Card. So this is kind of the season for hot cocoa, and that was the topic people voted on my Facebook page this week to do a project with. And so here we go. So let's switch over and we'll get right to our project. So here is our final product, and that's what we're aiming for today. And I'm going to show you how to make that. So here we go. We are using the More Than Autumn stamp set. So I like this stamp set a lot. I like autumn very much. I love the coffee here, I love the pie, and then there's donut. But then it's called More Than Autumn because it has so many other options. So you've got things like eggnog and hot cocoa that would be more for winter, or peppermint that would be more for the holiday season. And you've got a little gingerbread guy down here and a candy cane as well. And then you could use these at any time of the year. So I just think it's a great set. You could turn this pie into something else. You could color it yellow and then put a little bit of whipped cream on top. You could take that little top piece there and make it into meringue, and then you could have a lemon pie instead of a pumpkin pie. So I just think it is so versatile, this set. And right now, the dies that go with it, that cut out all of these things, including some of the words we're going to use today, these are only $19.60, I think. I think it's $19.60 or $19.50. Anyway, it's a huge discount. So if you're going to buy the stamp set and the dies, don't buy the bundle right now. You'll get a better price if you buy them separately. But the trick is these dies are being retired as soon as they're out of stock. So if you need them, I'd suggest getting them right away. All right, so let's start with our stamping. So I have a little piece of basic beige here, and I'm going to start by stamping the cup, and I'll also need to stamp a few other things. So let's see, I need this cup for the hot cocoa, or it could be coffee or tea if you like. I am going to use these marshmallows as well, and we're going to do something special with those, so I'll show you what that is as we get going. We will need the little heart, so here's the little heart, there we go. And let's see what else. We need the candy cane, so we're going to use a lot of these little pieces. This set is really fun because you can put it together in so many different ways. So there's 4 things we've got out already, so that covers all of these. Now we need the stamping there as well. So let's see, Love You More Than. There it is. It's right there on the bottom. And that's a long stamp, so I'm going to put it down on the mat here so I can read it. So the letters are all, as you'd expect to read something. Have it nice and straight and flat. And then I'm going to pick it up with my block so it doesn't kind of get crooked or start to arc in the middle. So it'll be all nice and straight there for us. And then we need one more thing here. You can see on the bottom there, I have hot cocoa repeated, and that's a stamp as well. So that's this one right here. So we're going to use a whole bunch of stamps here. And I think I need an extra block because I'm out of blocks. So let me just grab that and I will continue. Okay, here we go. Here's another block that I've got. So these blocks are different, you can tell. These ones are standard kit blocks. They just come complimentary in your kit. I mostly use those, but I do have a set of the more expensive ones that you get from Stampin' Up! If you have mobility difficulties with your hands, you may find these easier because, see, they have that kind of little gripper in the middle, a place to grip them. Some people find those easier. These ones, they're just flat, so they are a bit slippery on the edge. Okay, so that's all of our stamps. So let's get going on this, and we will just keep stamping all this. Here's a little piece about a ½ inch tall of basic beige. And we're going to stamp that Love You More Than on there. So let me just move these guys out of the way till we're ready for them. We'll just keep out the ones we need right now. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and we're going to stamp it in Tuxedo Black. So this card is pretty intensive for stamping, but there's not a lot of other stuff that you need to do. We're going to do very simple coloring, and you'll see that it's really easy. So I'm just going to stamp that in Tuxedo Black, hold it down several seconds, and it should stamp very nicely. The Tuxedo Black gives you a really good result. Okay, so that one's done. We've got that little piece finished. Let's do hot cocoa next. And I've got my piece of paper all ready to go here. All we're going to do is stamp on the very bottom of this piece of paper, which is 5.5 across. And I'll tell you how far it is this way. Let me see. It is 3.5. So it's 3.5 by 5.5 inches. So we're going to stamp hot cocoa on the bottom here. And what I'm going to do to get these kind of evenly spaced is stamp hot cocoa all the way on the left, then all the way on the right, and then we'll kind of make the one in the middle equidistant from the other two, rather than have to try to guess on our way through. So let's see. I'm going to put it right down on the bottom as far as I can, right to the left-hand edge. So there's one. This is such a nice font. I love the font in the dies and in the stamps in this set. They're just lovely. Does anybody else like looking at different fonts? I just love it. I think it's so interesting to see fonts. So there you can see I have one on the left, one on the right, and then we'll put one in the middle of the two, kind of equidistant between them. All right, so there it is. So now we've got our 3 hot cocoa on the bottom. So we can put that one aside right now. And we're going to now stamp all of these little elements. So we're going to start with the cup and our marshmallows and our little candy cane. All right, so here we go. Here is our cup. And we're going to put that right there. Just hold it down for several seconds. And there it is. Very simple. I like that the stamping in this is very straightforward. It's really easy. Anybody can do this. And it's not difficult at all. So while I'm stamping all these things, I should tell you I have a promotion on just for the next week, starting today, November the 12th, through the end of November 18th. When you place an order of $75 or more with me, that's before tax and shipping and after your rewards, I will give you a free pack of embellishments. So I've got some more information there on my website. If you just click through where it says learn more right in this post, you can get in there and it will tell you more about that. But basically just place any order of $75 or more before tax and shipping and after your rewards are deducted, so that your retail amount is going to be $75. And if you're not sure, just let me know and I can help you with that. And I'd be happy to send you a free pack of embellishments to say thank you, because I really, really appreciate all my customers. As a small business, you make all the difference to me. You really do. Okay, so there we've got those. And then we'll need some hearts here. But let's just leave those till we color first. So how I'm going to color is very simply, I have my Stampin' Blends out here. They are Cherry Cobbler Light and Cherry Cobbler Dark. And I'm going to just scribble them on the side so we can see which color we want. So this one is the dark. And let's try the light one too, side by side. And we'll see. They look pretty similar, really. I think they do. So I think I'll go with the light one this time. I don't think it really matters. So these brush tips of the alcohol markers are so easy to use. I just love them. They fill in the space incredibly quickly. And I like to just kind of outline first and then continue just by almost scribbling the rest of it in there. So I'm just going to do the bottom of the cup as well. And we'll get that done really quickly. I love alcohol markers because they do not pill up the paper like regular water-based markers that most of us had in school. All right, and then I'm going to use the fine tip. So that's the little fine tip. And I'm just going to color right here in our little candy cane. So we're going to do that really quickly. Takes no time at all. And again, we're stamping on this basic beige. So I'm going with basic beige and cherry cobbler for the colors in this card all the way through to keep it very simple and to make sure everything coordinates nicely for us. All right, so now I'm going to use one of these browns, which is pecan pie. I have dark and light. I'll show you the difference here. I'm going to go with the light here and I'll show you why. So this one is dark and this one is the light. So I'm not sure if you can tell the difference there. I think you can though. The light is a fair bit lighter. So I'm going to color right here in the cup with that. So I'm going to use the brush tip again, you can see. And the key with the brush tip is to go just really lightly so that you don't damage the tip. If you press hard, like you can with other markers, and with the fine tip on these you can as well. But if you press hard, you'll kind of press down on the tip of the marker and it more or less destroys it in short order. So you just want to go easy with them. And it almost gives a feathering effect, I find, if you go easy with the alcohol markers. All right, so we got that done really quickly. And I'll show you what that looks like. Yeah, isn't that nice? Nice and smooth. And the pièce de résistance here is our Wink of Stella glitter brush. So what I'm going to do with that, I'm just going to try it out on the side here. Okay, it's working. And I'm just going to glitter a little bit. So this one is almost out. I've had this one for years, but it does have some glitter left. So let's glitter our nice little marshmallows here. It just gives a subtle little bit of glitter on them. Looks beautiful, kind of catches the light. And I'm going to do that in the candy cane as well. And that simply, it's all done. So I don't know if you can see the sparkle there. I guess you can see a glimpse of it. It's hard to show in the camera, but it is definitely glittery there on your little marshmallows. And what we'll do now is we will use our die cut machine to cut those out. So I'm just going to move my markers out of the way here. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, my mini version. This one you can take it on the road so easily. Oh, hi, Kathy. I'm glad you could join today. Yeah, I'm just making a cozy cocoa card today, just for the season. So let's see. We're going to cut these apart and we will die cut them very quickly. So there's the cup. And I'll dig out the cup die here. Here it is. And we'll just put that on there and run it through. So you can put washi tape on if you don't find your plates keep things exactly where you've put them. I find sometimes I need it and sometimes I don't. This time it looks like it's going to stay put. So I'm just going to put that through. So maybe if you're watching my video today, I'd love to hear if you're going to craft fairs. I have a craft fair every Saturday in November and one of the Fridays as well. And it's so much fun. My daughter's coming with me and she started her own little business as well. She's in high school and she's having lots of fun selling things too. So we're just having a great time with all these craft fairs. It's so much fun. All right. Okay, so now we're going to cut out the little marshmallows that we put Wink of Stella on. Gave them a little bit of bling. So let's see, the marshmallows would be this one here. And here is our stamped image. All right, let's see if we can get that to go through nicely for us. And then we will start to put the card together. We have some little hearts that we're going to stamp and color as well, but that's going to be a tiny little thing. It won't take long at all. And none of this card really takes a lot of time, but all the little touches, I think, add up to make it look pretty cool in the end. All right, so there's our little marshmallows. Oh, Kathy, you love this bundle? Yeah, I do too. I just think there's so many possibilities year-round with it, especially if you like coffee and pie. It has a really nice pie one too. All right, so that's what we've got. And now I'm going to get the other pieces that go along with this card. So here are some of our other pieces. All of these little things. Oh yes, I got to die cut one more thing, but let's not do that right now. We'll get our stamping done first. So I already used the Stylish Shapes dies to cut these two circles out. And we're going to put our cup on that circle eventually. So what I want to do is get the cup ready to go, and then we'll decide where to put our little hearts. So just to put that on top in our cup, I'm going to take a piece of just regular household tape and attach that so that I know how tall it's going to be. So it just looks like that. And we'll put that on there, just kind of place it down, and then we'll get our heart and we will stamp our heart on there. So just using the Tuxedo Black yet again. All right, so let's see where we want that to go. So maybe on an angle kind of up there, maybe on another angle facing that way. There's not really any science to this, it's just kind of where you'd like them to be. And then maybe this one is sort of in between, I guess, to make a little triangle between the three there. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Then we will very quickly color those in our cherry cobbler yet again. So I'm going to use the light cherry cobbler yet again. I'm going to use the fine tip just because these hearts are really small. So I'm going to try to keep it simple here. There's one. Don't you love how you can do this so quickly with alcohol markers, not pill up the paper? You can color as many times as you want in one spot to make it darker or to blend. I just think they're fantastic. They always come in twos, the same color, but two different tones of the same color. So a light and a dark version. So it's really nice for blending. Okay, so now we're going to attach these two. So I'm just using my Stampin' Seal. You could use liquid glue, that would work as well. Any adhesive you like. And we're going to put those on. So like I said, these circles were made with the Stylish Shapes dies, and they have these little bits of cutout along the edge. I'll just show you the dies because they're my favorite die set. I use them more than anything else. Nested circles, nested labels, nested squares, or diamonds. They're just perfect for any time of year. I really like them. Okay, so let's take our cup, and I am going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on them. Like everything else you'll see me use, unless I say otherwise. It's all from Stampin' Up. I love their adhesives, and they're one of my favorite things that they sell, actually, because I always know that their adhesives work, because they're passionate about having super high quality stuff. And if it's not up to their quality standard, they take it off the market right away. So I really appreciate that about their company. There you go. So now we've got that together. Now let's put together some of the rest of this card. We're all done our stamping, so I'm going to move that off. I'm going to take my basic beige cardstock here. This is just half a sheet of cardstock. You can cut it lengthways, or you can cut it like as a landscape, which is this way, or you can cut it to be this size. But whichever way you cut the sheet, whether you cut it this way or this way, it'll come out to the right size to go in a Stampin' Up envelope. So it doesn't matter which way you cut it. I just like to have it this way mostly because I like the version of the card you get. All right, and now we're going to take this paper and put it on. Now this is from the Timeless Plaid paper pack, and there's so many different colors of plaid. I haven't seen a lot of this paper used online, but I really like it. It's got so many different colors. It's not specifically a holiday pack, but there are some of the patterns that work really well for the holidays as well. So that's what we're using today on our card is Timeless Plaid. It's really good for any time of year, which is great. I figure you can really get more bang for your buck if you can get a kind of paper that can be used year-round. All right, and this is a gold foil sheet. It's about 1/4 inch tall and 5.5 inches wide. And I'm just going to put it over that kind of seam there to finish it off. And I'm just going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue on that. All right. So here we go. So you just need a little bit. I will hold that up so you can see. A lot of people assume you need a ton of glue, but honestly, you just need a tiny, tiny bit like that, a little thin line. And it sticks really well. It's also good because you can kind of wiggle it around if you need to in order to get it into the right place on your card. So I like that you can adjust where you've put it. All right, I'm just adjusting that back and forth now. Okay, so there's what we've got so far. Okay, and now I'm going to adhere that piece onto our card base of basic beige. And again, this red color we're using all throughout is called Cherry Cobbler. Really, really nice color. Although, like many of the Stampin' Up! Colors, it will make you want to eat dessert because they have pecan pie, they have pumpkin pie, they have cherry cobbler. Like, so many of them seem to be foods. So you'll be hungry while you're making all your cards. So just be aware of that. All right. So that's all put together. That looks pretty nice. And we're going to put this over here. We have this piece as well, but we're missing these words. And those are with the More Than Autumn dies. So I'm going to just use this little scrap piece that I cut the circle out of. And we're going to use these dies to cut our words. So here is the word hot and the word cocoa. And with these dies, you get a lot of nice words. So this one's pumpkin, season, apple, and this one down here is spice. And this one says nothing's better than, and then you get coffee and latte as well. So you get a lot of different words. If you would like to make a card without stamping, you can use these words, and you won't even have to stamp the words if you don't want to. So here we go. Let's put that in there. And I'm just going to put this on here to see how much we need. So you just need a little tiny bit. I'm going to cut that off, our piece. And we're going to use this tiny little scrap and cut it out. So I keep most of my scraps. Unless they're super tiny, then I'll just recycle them. But mostly I keep my scraps because you can always use them for things like this. And I just find them so helpful. Rather than cutting into a big sheet of paper, you can just use these tiny bits. So there's that one. And to get that out of the die, see how it's stuck in there? I'm going to use the Take Your Pick tool from Stampin' Up! And you just poke through these little holes and it releases the die for you. And there you go. There's the word hot. So let's go ahead and we'll do the next one, which is cocoa. So here we go. Let's put that back in. Now we're just going to put this on here, see how much we need. So really we just need that little corner of what is already a scrap. So you really get a lot for your money with these papers because you can keep using all the little bits. All right. So let's do that. Here goes. Yeah, and once again, these dies are on the last chance sale. They're just slightly less than $20, which is an amazing deal. Die sets are often in the 40s and 50s, but they will not last because they are going to retire as soon as they sell out. So if you need these dies, now is the time to get them for sure. All right, so there we got our words. Everything's all ready to go. Now, let's go ahead and glue all this together. And we're almost done our little card. So let's just position this on here. I like to position everything first, and then I'll decide where to stick things down. Kind of like measure twice, cut once. I like to position twice, stick once. It's not so catchy, I guess, but that's what I like to do, just to make sure that it's going to work. Okay, that looks like a pretty good positioning right there. So I'm going to turn this over, and we're going to put tiny dots of this multi-purpose liquid glue on there. And just little bits of glue. You hardly need any. It's really, really amazing how little you need. So I'm just going to put little bits here. And we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it works for us. All right, now just need on the T here. And then we'll put that on. And a tip for the glue is just to put the cap on just as soon as you've done using it, because it will dry out. The fine tip is very fine. And it will dry out, and then you might have to open it up with a little pin or something, which is not hard to do, but it can be just a little bit irritating if you're in the middle of crafting. So I just suggest you put the cover back on right away. All right, so we put that one on. There, I'm just moving that down a little, adjusting slightly. And let's get this one on as well. So we'll just put these little dots yet again. Just tiny. I'll show you on the screen how little this is actually, because it's quite amazing how little you need. All right. Okay, here we go. So if anybody is around Charlotte County, I will be in Macadam, New Brunswick this weekend at their big craft fair. And I would love to have you drop by and say hello if you're going to be up in the area. Okay, look at that. See how tiny those little dots are? Just hardly any glue at all. And we're going to just put this down here. And we can adjust it a little bit there. Just kind of stick it down lightly. And that's all you got to do. So just like that, it's already stuck on. Okay, this one, we're going to put on the back of our circles some Stampin' Dimensionals, some foam adhesive to pop it up just a little. I find 3 is usually enough for a circle. And I can take those off. And then I can stick that on and position it. And I'm just putting it slightly above the top of our Timeless plaid paper and slightly into the gold foil sheet just to kind of bring the whole image together. And then this one, we're going to glue it on there. So I'm going to cut at an angle on the end here. Very simple. Now let's see how that's going to look. Is that going to work? Yeah, I'd say it is. So I'm just going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue yet again. And then all we have left to do is add our embellishments. So it's really not a lot of work to do this card. It's just got a few steps to it, that's all. All right, let's put that on. And you can see how you can adjust with that multi-purpose liquid glue. It works really well. Okay, so here's what we have so far. We're going to put on our embellishments, which are real red and white adhesive back peppermints. Now these peppermints came out last holiday season, and they were sold out forever, but they are in now. So if you missed them last year or you didn't see them before, these are the cutest little embellishments. Look at them. They've got small ones, medium ones, and large ones. And we're going to use one of each on this card here. So we're going to take a medium one and put it right up here. We're going to take a small one and we're going to put it over here. And then we're going to take a large one and put it down here. So that, my friends, is the end of today's card. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you'll click through to learn more about this. And remember, I have a special ordering deal on just for the next week where you can get a free pack of embellishments with an order of $75 or more before tax and shipping and after your rewards are taken off your order. Okay, so thanks so much for watching today, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye for now.